welcome to Life in Envelopes. I'm Jennifer Bleecher. This channel is all about planning and budgeting. So if those are topics that you are also interested in, then please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you along on this journey. In today's video, we are going to be closing out the third week of November in my Budget by Paycheck workbook by the Budget Mom. We're also going to be setting up the fourth week of November. So let's go ahead and jump right in. By the way, these category stickers that I use, they're from Cara Jo Plans, and I do have a link to her Etsy shop in the description box below, as well as a discount code for all of my YouTube viewers. Okay, so starting with the expense tracker, the way I use her expense trackers is I do one expense tracker per week. I color code all of the items that we spent money on this week, and then I make a key at the bottom of the page that's going to help me when I go to close out my budget at the end of the month. Well, let's take a look at where we specifically spent our money this week, starting with bills. So we had a couple of bills that came out. The first one was Google Fi, which is our cell phone company that David and I use. So it's $51 for 2 cell phones. That's how much came out, but I think we normally budget a little more for that. We'll see when we get to the worksheet. And then MetroNet was $99. That's the cable, not cable. Wait, yes, cable. It's not cable though. What do you call that? It's our internet, sorry. That's the internet for our house. And I actually believe that was more expensive than we budget. So it's kind of odd. We're usually like right on with these numbers. Okay, moving on to debt. We had one debt payment to loan number 2. We paid $142 this week. This is a credit card debt consolidation loan, and we make a payment to them every single week. Okay, moving on to food. We spent $200 on food this week. And then moving on to gas, we spent $20 on gas. Next up is miscellaneous. So we started with $50 in our miscellaneous envelope because these are all cash envelopes down here. The food, gas, miscellaneous, spending, savings, sinking funds, those are all cash envelopes. So we had $50 we pulled out for that, but then we played our savings challenge game and we ended up putting 10 of that over to the savings challenge. So that's going to be coming up in just a second here. For spending money, we spent $45. So that was 20 for me, 20 for David, 5 for Logan. Okay, for savings challenge, here is that $10 that I was talking about. So we did end up saving $10 towards our savings challenge. Our current savings challenge, we just have one that we're working on, and we're trying to save a $1,000 cushion for our checking account. That's what we're currently working on. And finally, sinking funds. Sinking funds are all of those big expenses that come up throughout the year. We pay a little bit each week towards those in cash envelopes, and the amount we've been putting in is $30 a week. That's how much we put in last week. Okay, let's move over to the worksheet. Okay, starting with my monthly budget. So I currently have 2 budgets that I'm working on. I have a monthly budget where I cover most of my debts and my bills, so my fixed expenses, with my husband's income. He's paid once a month. It's a fixed amount. These are fixed expenses, so it usually works out really well for us. And then week to week is a few bills that didn't fit on here, and then all of our variable expenses. And those are covered with my paycheck, which is variable. It varies from week to week. Okay, so MetroNet, we had $97 budgeted, and it ended up costing $99. So I was right, that is a little bit more than what we currently budget. That's $2 more than we currently budget. Now Google Fi was $51, so that was $1 cheaper than we normally budget. So they almost cancel each other out. Okay, so we still have a few bills that need to come out this month. Hulu, City of Ames, that's for our electricity, our power, and our water, and then my student loan payment. Okay, so let's see. So we're not going to calculate any of that right now. It looks like we're pretty much on track. We're pretty close to where we need to be, so we're good. We're just going to keep going forward with that budget. Let's look at the variable budget, the week-to-week budget. Okay, so we need to close out week 3 because that was last week, and then once we get this closed out, we can set up week 4. So starting with my income, I was able to pay myself $507. I set a goal of paying myself $507 each week. That money comes from YouTube, Etsy, and Patreon. Okay, and then Buy Me a Coffee, we didn't have any of those last week. Buy Me a Coffee is a tipping app that a lot of my viewers requested that I add to my YouTube videos. So in the description box of my video is the Buy Me a Coffee link. We never ever expect to receive any Buy Me a Coffees. We're always so pleasantly surprised when we receive them. So we didn't get any, and that's totally fine. We never ever expect it. Okay, so that's $507 that we had to work with. So loan number 2 was exactly $142. Like I said, that comes out each week. It also comes out automatically, so I know that's going to be the same amount each time it comes out. Now, the rest of these were cash envelopes that we stuffed last week. If you'd like to see that video, it is already up on my channel. You can see us actually stuffing these cash envelopes. Okay, garbage. We set aside $5 for garbage. We set aside $10 for Alliant. We set aside $5 for WW. So altogether that came to $162. So 507 minus 162 is $345. Okay, moving down to our variable expenses. So we had $345 left. We put $200 of that towards food. So when I say food, that includes eating out. For us, it's any grocery trips or eating out. Altogether, we have to stay in that $200 budget for the week. We set aside $20 for gas. We ended up setting aside only $40 for miscellaneous because $10 went over here towards our savings challenge. And then we did the $45 to spending. So let's see all together how much that was. So altogether that came to $305. So $345 minus $305 left us with $40 to work with. We're going to bring that up here to our sinking funds. So these are the sinking funds that we're currently working on. Starting in January, I am going to revamp this and revisit it, and I'm going to be adding a few more, but this is where we're at right now. Each week we try to set aside $10 for car maintenance, $5 for car registration, $10 for Christmas, and $5 for vet. So all together that came to $30, leaving us with $10 to bring down to our savings challenge. So right here in this area, we are currently not working on extra debt payments. We're trying to reach some savings goals first, and then we're going to get back to working on our extra debt payments. So coming down to our extra savings, so we had $10 after the sinking funds. So 10 of that went to savings challenge, which left us with $0. We like to end each week at $0, meaning that we have a place for all of our money. Okay, let's move on to week 4 and get that set up and see how this upcoming week is going to go. So we're actually going to be celebrating Thanksgiving with this week's income. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, how we're going to handle that. But first, let's get the date range. So this is for us, the way we would do the week 4 is November 17th through November 23rd. So Jacob and Sierra are actually going to go to her parents' house on Thanksgiving. So we're actually going to have our Thanksgiving a few days before that, actually on Sunday. So, which is the day after tomorrow. It's coming right up. So this is how I'm handling the food. What I'm doing, my plan is to focus on that meal, that Thanksgiving meal, and then and that's where we're going to spend our money this week. And then we're going to eat leftovers this week and and eat from our pantry. So that's how I'm going to be able to afford this big special meal. Is basically our grocery money and most of our grocery money is going to be going towards that one meal. Okay, so starting with my pay, it was another good week for us. So I should be able to pay myself $507. That's the plan. Okay, guys. Again, you blew me away, and I'm so excited. This is always so much fun. So for Buy Me a Coffee, shout out to Jill, Janine, Amanda, also known as Sweet Bunny Blessings, Glenda, and one anonymous tipper. Between all of them, we were tipped $95. I'm going to tell you exactly where we're going to put that money in the budget in just a moment here. Okay, so 507 plus 95 is $602. So we have $602 to work with this week. Okay, starting with loan number 2, our budget is $142. Garbage, we budget $5 for that. Is Alliant 10? Yes, Alliant is $10 and WW is 5. So altogether, I think that's 162. Yep, altogether that's 162. So 602 minus 162. $440 is what we have left over to work with for other categories. Okay, moving down to our variable expenses. So we have $440 to work with. So we're still putting $200 to food. It's just that most of that's going to be going towards one meal. And then probably more like half of that will go towards one meal, and then the other half will go towards taking care of other things. Okay, so $20 is for gas. Miscellaneous, we're going to cash stuff $50, but part of that will go to our savings challenge when we do the savings challenge in tomorrow's cash envelope stuffing video. But we don't know how much that's going to be yet because it's a game that I play with my viewers, so they help me pick that number. So we'll find out tomorrow what that's going to be. And then for spending, we're going to do the $45. 20 for me, 20 for David, 5 for Logan. So all together, that's $315. So that's going to leave us with $125 to work with for our sinking funds. So let's take a look at where all of that's going to go. So we have $125. So car maintenance is staying the same. That's $10. Car registration is staying the same. Christmas is where we're going to make the big difference, okay? So that's still going to get $5. Okay, so that's $20 for those 3 things. So that leaves us $105 for Christmas. Okay, time to do the happy dance. I'm so excited. I've been making a Christmas list. I haven't purchased anything yet. Here's my thought. So I have to purchase gifts. I don't have to. I'm choosing to purchase gifts for Jacob and Logan, my 2 sons, and then Sierra, Jacob's girlfriend. And I have a list from them that I can work off of. And my thought is I'm going to wait till Black Friday and check the list that I'm going to check to see if the items on the list that I want to get them are on sale. So if they're on sale, I'll pick them up on Black Friday. If they're not, then I'm gonna wait till Cyber Monday, and then that's it. And then after that, I'm just gonna purchase the things I want for them. So we're gonna add another $105 to that envelope this week. I'm so excited. $20 of that has been designated to our Christmas meal. So 20 of that will be reserved for our meal on Christmas. So when people do the Buy Me a Coffee, they do have the option to like leave me a note and like tell me where they'd like for us to spend the money. And I always honor that. If somebody like gives me money for the vet, I always put it in the vet envelope. Or if they give me money for Christmas, I put it in the Christmas envelope. So also too, I wanted to mention one of the Buy Me a Coffees that I did a shout out for, Glenda. It wasn't actually a Buy Me a Coffee. Glenda just sent me a very lovely letter to my post office box, and in there she added a tip, so I'm adding it to the Buy Me a Coffee. But it was so nice to receive like a handwritten letter, so thank you, Glenda. Thank you so much. Okay, so all together that's $125. So that leaves us with 0, which is exactly where we want to be because we're not doing any extra debt. And even though we are going to put some money in the savings challenge, it's going to be coming from that miscellaneous envelope. So it doesn't need to come from anywhere else. So we are currently at 0, which is exactly where we want to be. So tomorrow I am going to do a cash envelope stuffing video where we're going to stuff all of these items and we're going to play the savings challenge game and find out how much of that money is going to go towards our savings challenge. I hope that you can come back tomorrow and join me then. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, will you please give it a thumbs up? And I will see you all again next time. Bye everyone!